Saya. They also feature in the medals the experienced man closest to us, Guillermo Maro from Argentina. World record holder Jonathan Fox. Final is underway. Jonathan Fox has got a good start. It looks like he is behind. A very good start from Bohodajko.
Well, Bohodajko took the best part of a body length out of Jonathan Fox. Jonathan Fox is really, really good in the heats this morning, and he's got a nice turnover now. He's clawed that start distance back from Bohodajko, and he's definitely going to be first going into the wall now, into the final 5 meters. Now, can he get this nice and crisp? Yeah, it looks good. 5 meters underwater, and he's into his stroke again. He really is taking this field by the scruff of the neck. Hands are coming over, entering the water cleanly. Bohodajko much scruffier on the stroke in the blue hat there, and also going well in the outside lane is Gladkov of Russia. But Jonathan Fox now a clear body length up on Bohodajko into the final 15 meters.
And he is inside his own world record pace, but he's holding on now. Gladkov is coming back. Bohodajko's coming back, but they're not going to catch Jonathan Fox. Fox into the last couple of meters, and he will take it in 1:10.62. It is goal for Jonathan Fox of Great Britain. It was a gutsy swim from Jonathan Fox. He was holding on at the end there, and Gladkov was coming back in the outside lane, but the world and European champion Gladkov has to settle for silver this time, because Jonathan Fox from Great Britain is back.
Well, it really was fantastic to see him going so well once again, and I think we could see that really where he was kind of lacking was that fitness just for the final 10 meters of the race. You could see the stroke starting to tighten up. Here's the start again as they go out. You can see Bohodajko first to 15 by a long chalk, but Jonathan Fox then starts to reel him back in. Pretty good head position that he has there, manages to keep it quite still. The turn comes over and he's got quite a lot of snap to it. Streamlined position, and he's back up into it.
Jonathan Fox there with that clear lead over Bohodajko and over Gladkov. Gladkov certainly stronger at the end, but Jonathan Fox had the advantage, and he takes the European title here in Funchal. Jonathan Fox is the European champion for Great Britain, ahead of Andrei Gladkov from Russia and Yevgeny Bohodajko from Ukraine. So good comeback there for Jonathan Fox, and he will be delighted with that one. Shoulder injury kept him out for 3 years, Joe.
Well, that's right. He got past it, had some surgery, some treatment, and then it would come back again, and very, very frustrating time it's been for him over the last 3 years, and really sets things up very nicely ahead of the Paralympic Games in Rio. Swedish team there enjoying the competition.
Some of the GB fans there. We move on to the women's 100 meters backstroke S7 final. Gimmick coming out for this one. Germany has dominated this event in recent years. World record held by Kirsten Brun, and it's 2 Germans in the center lane for this one again. Kirsten Brun retired, of course. Hungarian Dorothea Backa in lane 1. Mina Marie Clausen from Norway in 2. Talamono in 3. First of the 2 Germans, Denise Grau in lane number 4. Next to her, Verana Schultz, German teammate. Brenda Tilk goes in lane number 6. One of my favourite names, Giles, Mary Mackinen in lane number 7. and Natasha Sobochan in lane number 8 completes the lineup for this women's backstroke S7. Kirsten Bruin, as we said, still the European and world record holder.
And how long that record is going to stand for, it's so far in front of where S7 women's backstroke is currently. So we can see it, well, standing. I can see it standing for at least another 15 years. It'd be one of those ones that we look forward to.
Fantastic athlete was Kirsten Bruin. She was a champion in this event back in 2014. Could it be another German swimmer who takes that European crown tonight? I think there's some problems at the start.
Well, that's right. Clausen of Norway in lane 2. I think she got some spasm in her hand. Looks like she's got cramp in her forearm.
Going now, she is up on the blocks now. Clausen was a bronze medalist the last time the European Championships were held, 2014. Can she get the medals again? Can it be a Germany 1-2?
Well, she may have had some cramp in her forearm, but she got one of the best starts in lane number 2 there, did Clausen. But it is the centre lanes now, that lovely riding, rolling backstroke of Denise Graal of Germany in lane number 4. You can see very, very smooth swimming. Also going with Verena Schott in lane number 5. And Schott not as smooth, but looks to just about moved into the front now and will be first into the wall, just about.
Very, very tight between the two Germans, as we expected that it would be. 43.19, so a little bit outside the record held by Kirsten Bruin, but a very, very good tussle between these two Germans. The German team just to the left of us, encouraging their two swimmers home now. The two black caps now of Germany. It does look like it's going to be a German 1-2. Also going well in lane number 3 is Talamona from Italy, lying in 3rd position at the moment. But in they come to the final stages now. It does look like lane 5, Verena Schott is going to get this one. What has Denise Graal got left at the end? It's going to be Verena Schott will take that one in 1:28.14, just 1.5 seconds behind her is Denise Graal, and in 3rd place it was Talamona of Italy. And delight there for Verena Schott from Germany. Gold and silver for Germany, and there are two happy German swimmers. Germany continue their dominance in this event.
Well, Denise Graal really didn't improve on her heat swim. And Verena Schott, well, she took advantage of that. There's the start, powering away, and you can see the legs there pretty much just being dragged through the water. And at this early stage, it was really looking more like Denise Graal's race, but by the time they got to the turn, it was clear that Verena Schott more strength at her disposal. She's not technically as good, as clean as Denise Graal, but, well, in the end, who cares? Because it's all about who gets to the end of finish the quickest. And here, under the flags, well, she could have finished perhaps more on a reach extension to kind of make her finish quicker. But all smiles at the end there with the victory.
Great victory there for Verena Schott from Germany. Denise Graal in 2nd position, and Arianna Talamona from Italy, the bronze medalist. Well, we're up in the distance again. Giles, 200 freestyle for men in the S1 classification.
Well, the S1 class is for those with the most severe impairments. Very, very limited motor function. Now,
There is the lineup for the finalists. 6 swimmers taking the start for the men's 200 freestyle S1 final. 3 Ukrainians in this one. The only swimmer from Greece is Karapiris. And Anton Cole, the youngest in the field, 25-year-old from Ukraine. Next to Hennady Boyko, who's dominated the S1 events in recent years. Next to him is Mamis Valov, making his way in from the side of the pool. That is Francesco Bitella from Italy. And there is Golovko.
Well, it's really interesting that you see him pushing on his goggles with his, almost with his wrist. Basically got no finger control, wrist control, to be able to pick those goggles off, to place them onto the face.
Tends to be the swimmers in this class, one with affected in all 4 limbs. They will be affected by cerebral palsy or a high spinal injury, or similar disabilities. There's Mamis Valov making his way over to the centre of the pool there. And virtually all of the swimmers will swim backstroke in this because they find it easier to do that, apart from this man in the shot there, Mamis Valov from Israel. He is one of the few S1 swimmers that doesn't swim on his back.
Does a more of a classic freestyle. There you go, you can see them being, coach must just hold the feet against the touchpad. When the gun goes, all they can do is let go though, they can't push the swimmer in any way. Well there, perfect example, you can see Boyko of Ukraine in the red swimming shorts, both arms over together, almost an old English backstroke style. Absolutely no drive really in his entire body, pretty much from the chest down. And he does a great job of keeping his feet high, keeping a high body position. It'd be very, very easy to let the feet collapse and the body position become like a steep gradient, which would push his drag up and mean that he'd have to work much, much harder to get the same speed result that he does.
Yeah, he does a good job cutting down the resistance that he has through the water. Mamis Valov there, again veering over to the side of that lane there. And Boyko, Mamis Valov, the world and European record holder there to your right. Boyko just with that slender lead here. Boyko, he has dominated the S1 class, but we haven't really seen this event be contested in a major championships for a while. Not this 200. We have, of course, seen the shorter distances, but the 200 is the one that hasn't hit the international programme just yet. Boyko does lead, Mamis Valov in second, Bitella from Italy, a little bit behind, a couple of seconds behind, and, well, Mamis Valov looked like he tried to keep pace with Boyko there in the early stages, but he's got himself tied up on that lane rope there badly.
Yeah, well, he hit the lane rope and then hit it with his arm, and then I think he hit it with his chin. Possibly took a mouthful of water, and that is going to cause massive problems for him. Moving up in the field in lane number 6, Bitella of Italy. And really kind of, you know, very, very similar technique to Hennady Boyko. And really, when we see this, the swimmers that tend to win this race are those who can maintain a very even stroke pace throughout the entire 200 metres. Now, I guess there's advantages and disadvantages here as we come into the turn. There's Boyko looking for the turn. He comes round. You've got to be careful not to pull on the lane rope. That'll cause him a whole lot of problems. But you can see that Boyko has got his legs outstretched, and so he's in a much more streamlined position than Bitella, whose legs are kind of drawn up underneath him, and that's his advantage. But the disadvantage of having those legs is he's got a much longer lever for those legs to potentially sag in the water and push his drag levels and his resistance up.
Especially, of course, when it gets to this stage in the race, when they're in the second half of this race and they've just gone over the 3-minute mark there. And quite interesting on the kind of range of movement that these guys have at the top of the stroke. The arms going in for Battella, pretty close to his head there, but Boyko's arms pretty wide, so he's kind of getting less of a propulsion, less of a full kind of pull from his arms. Battella getting a little bit more, but Boyko maybe a little bit more efficient underwater.
Yeah, well, and someone that we haven't really spoken much about yet is Anton Kol of the Ukraine in lane number 3. Well, 100 meters ago, he was a long way down, but he's eaten into the lead of Boyko and Battella. I'm not sure if he's just going to run out of pull, but it really is very, very tight between the two leading S1 swimmers. The Ukrainian in the shape of Hennady Boyko in lane number 4, and closest to us, Francesco Battella of Italy. Well, it looks, it's very difficult to see from this angle. It looks like Battella has just about got the advantage, but as each swimmer pulses with each stroke, the lead jockeys slightly.
It is going to be a very close finish. That is what we can say for sure. When it looks like Battella, is he going to hold on? Boyko just manages to put another little bit of effort in, and he's just possibly forging ahead now of Battella. Anton Kol, I think you're right, Giles. He is just going to run out of pull here. And it looks like it may well be Hennady Boyko who will take this one. It is very, very close indeed, but Hennady Boyko does have the strength at the end, and he takes it ahead of Francesco Battella, who has swum an excellent swim there. The Italian will be delighted. Anton Kol will be delighted because he was very close at the end there. And disappointed man who was right up there at the start will be the man just finishing now. And that's Mami Smalov from Israel. Just really lost it when he had those problems with the lane rope. But a good finish from Boyko, and that's what won him it. Battella just ran out of steam there. Boyko was the stronger as they came into the end.
Absolutely, and we spoke earlier in the race about how it was so important to evenly pace that stroke rate. Well, Boyko, for my money, pretty much the same stroke rate going out on the first 50 as he had on the final 50. Well, swimmers still finishing the race. Closest to your screen there in lane number 7, Alexander Golovko of the Ukraine, and at the very top of your screen, Dimitros Karapidis of Greece.
Oh, both of these swimmers, entry times in somewhere around about the 6.5 minutes. Again, as we've said, the most severe disabilities in the Paralympic programme here. And Golovko in 6:32, he'll be pleased with that one. That's an improvement for him. And Karapidis just a 1/10 of a second outside his entry time. So 6 minutes 36 he's swum to do pretty much exactly the same time as his entry time.
Very consistent.
There's the start. And you see, you talk about Anton Kol coming back. He was 6 seconds down on Hennady Boyko after the first 50. There's the Italian, Battella. He challenged all the way.
Well, and there you can see his kind of knees drawn up that we were talking about, and that advantage, disadvantage. Well, the winner in the end, well, actually he managed to kind of up his stroke rate into the final 5 meters. He looks just over his shoulder.
He probably would not have been aware of where Battella was, how close he was at the end there.
No, he's very used to having his own way in these kind of races, isn't he? Well, sorry for the slight interruption in transmission there. I very nearly kicked over the commentary desk.
Excitement getting to Giles Long here. He's with his silver medal for Italy, and Anton Kol the bronze for Ukraine. talk about the hashtags for Twitter. We struggled to get the Twitter to work this morning, myself and Liz Johnson, but now that you're here, Giles, you can keep us right.
Absolutely.
Hashtag Funchal 2016 or at IPC Swimming. Send in your tweets, we'll try and read some out. Giles is all over it.
Well, lots of excitement there in the crowd. Yay! Everyone loves to see themselves on the big screen.
It is a good atmosphere here. It's quite a spectator seating. There's not a great deal of spectator seating here. It's a big kind of dome building there. It's quite expansive, really, but it's good. It's a good atmosphere. It's nice, nice crowd there. And the teams are getting behind their swimmers as well. The team seating there, you see the German flag on the right there. There's some athletes seating on the bottom of the pool. To move on to the next final, we had the S1 final. We now move on to the S2 final. So differences between S1 and S2, Joe?
Well, still high degree of impairment in all 4 limbs. Check out Kokorev and Palamarchuk in 4 and 5 in this race. Always very tight between those two. But as I was saying, we'll expect to see a similar kind of start. These swimmers will swim on their back, as we saw in the S1 race. And probably be held on the start by their coaches. Czech from Poland in lane number 1.
Pleased to be here.
Yeah.
Czech. Yenko, there's Micro Dimitris. Experienced Greek man. Dmitry Kokorev swam really well this morning. European record in the heats this morning. He was pushed by this one though, Palamarchuk, who went also inside the old European record mark. Bratets there next to Joseph Shalabi, and the home swimmer João Pina made it into this final. Really good support for the Portuguese team here. A world record set late last year by Yang Yang of China. That European record you can see set just this morning, 4:19.83. So we shall see how this race progresses. There's Palamarchuk. Just wonder what Kokorev could do. A lot of like poker faces here. Nobody really giving much away here. Palamarchuk, Kokorev.
Well, they don't like to look at each other, do they?
They don't. Real two big rivals, those two. Throw into the mix the Chinese swimmer as well. Makings of some excellent swims in the major championship, some excellent contests. We'll see.
Well, there we go, look at that. Every single swimmer using exactly the same start technique. Feet on the wall, held there by the coach again. Coach must just release.
Some arms up, some arms down there. João Pina with one arm extended so he gets straight into that alternating backstroke, and some with double arm backstroke, both arms extended.
Well, that's right. Interestingly, the 2 centre lanes of Kokorev and Palamarchuk, both very similar. What's interesting is that in Palamarchuk's stroke, his arms come over and really enter the water, really, I guess, at sort of 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, I suppose you could say. And Kokorev tends to go, both arms go much more in at 12 o'clock, but when they go in, his hands spin much more in the water. He pulls a lot more air into the water. He's the one leading in the center of the screen. There you can see as his hands go in, great big clouds of air around them, but he's going to be first into the wall. He's over by the lane rope, so hopefully he's going to be able to spin himself round. Does well there. Well, look at the acceleration off the wall there, given that he's got no leg kick at all. Fantastic.
Well, he means business. Kokorev would like to get in ahead of his rival there, Palamarchuk. has scored a couple of victories. Kokorev was pretty dominant, really, in the last sort of decade or so. Came onto the scene in the late 2000s and has continued that dominance. Yang from China, very good games when he went to London in 2012. But apart from that, Kokorev has been the star man in this class, and he's really stretching away really well here. Kokorev in lane number 4, Palamarchuk now being left slightly. There is clear water between the two leaders here, and in third position looks like Panabratets in lane number 6. They're all kind of in a diagonal line there as they come up to the halfway point.
Well, it's very quick pace this from Kokorev as he just goes around the wall there, and I'm wondering if maybe he's just gone a bit too hard, a bit too early. Well, we're going to find out down this second 100 meters. They've just gone through the halfway point, and well, I floated that hypothesis, and all he's doing is seems to be just moving away from the rest of the field. So he's very much proving me wrong at the moment.
Well, he still looks like he has lots left, Kokorev. I wonder, he was the world record holder prior to Yang taking that record at the tail end of last year. I wonder if he's looking to get that world record back from the Chinese swimmer. Yang's time, we're looking for 4:15.27, and as it stands at the moment, Kokorev is swimming away from the rest of the field, and he has that record in his sights.
Well, Palamarchuk, well, the wheels are well and truly falling off his race. And Panabratets is actually starting to make some ground on him on the outside of him in lane number 6. Well, he's just going around the wall now. And Panabratets now, well, if Panabratets can up his stroke rate with the ever decreasing speed of Palamarchuk, well, he might just move past him. There's a lot of work to do, but really no sign that the leader is going to slow down at all. Here he is right in the centre of your screen. He looks to be going much more kind of up and down now than he was, and that's always a sign of a swimmer tightening up as they get tired. Different muscle groups starting to come into play as they come now into the final 15 metres of this S1 200 freestyle.
This is the final stages, S2 200 freestyle. Could we be on for a world record here, 4:15.27? This has been a fantastic swim here from Dmitry Kokorev. He is going to be well inside that, Giles. Fantastic stuff, 4:12.76. He is inside that world record time by a massive amount there. And it is a new world record for Dmitry Kokorev of Russia. Palamarchuk in second, Panabratets in third position. The gap was enormous between 1, 2 and 3. And Kokorev, he never looked like he was in doubt, was he? That was superb.
Well, I said at the halfway point, I wondered if he'd overcooked it. Well, in the end, what a fantastic world record. And poor old Palamarchuk, because he's gone pretty much his qualifying time from the heats in the final. And Kokorev has just turned up and absolutely demolished him. Well, he's going to have some serious thinking to do on the run into the Rio Paralympic Games. Well, here coming now into the finish in lane number 8 is Alpina, the Portuguese man, into the final 5 metres. Very well supported here in Funchal. One of the few to be using an alternating backstroke style. And there it is, 5:35.50. Well, that's pretty much on his best from this morning.
Alpina, real support there from the home crowd, but what a swim that was. Dmitry Kokorev, and straight from the start there, Giles, he meant business. Did not want to be challenged there by Palamarchuk, and straight away went into a lead which he never really gave up.
Well, he's starting to go up and down at this point as he starts to tire. But does a great job grounding his turn. You've got to remember this guy's got absolutely no control pretty much from the mid-chest down. And those hands have just come over and he's just power, power, power. There's a lot of air in the water, as he talks about. Well, that's all slippage. The hands aren't really gripping in the water, if you like. And he manages, even after all that, he kind of dives backwards to the finish, shaving off even a bit more off that record.
Dmitry Kokarev sets a new world record in the men's 200 freestyle S2, 4:12.76. He finishes 9 seconds ahead of Serhii Palamarchuk, and Pana Bratets makes it 2 medals for Ukraine. Well, absolutely stunning swim there. That was fantastic from Dmitry Kokarev. So, just moving on now through the programme, we have got some medal ceremonies for the European champions coming up. Again, there's been a number of them that we have the top 3 being Europeans, but a number of them that they weren't. And this is one that we didn't have the top 3 finishers as being European swimmers. It is the European Open Championship, and the swimmers from out with Europe that finished in the top 3 will get Open medals. But those top 3 swimmers on the medal podium that you can see are the top 3 Europeans. Men's 400 freestyle, S10. The medal presentations being made by the president of the IPC, Sir Philip Craven, assisted by Mr. Antonio Silva, president of the Portuguese Swimming Federation. Maciej Karlinski from Poland, 4th place in the last European Championships, is on the medal podium this time. Is it traditional Madeiran dress there for the medal presenters? Quite striking, that, Jones.
Absolutely. The hats are like little berries.
They are. There's a display of traditional dancing at the opening ceremony last night. And the reigning champion from 2014, smile on his face this time. He didn't look too happy with silver at the end of the race.
Oh, he certainly didn't, and rightly so. He wasn't on his best.
Barasinski, silver medal. Could not match the finishing power of the man in the middle, Denis Dubrov, Ukraine, accepting the medal and the mascot. Denis Dubrov takes that first gold medal for Ukraine here at these Open European Championships. We'll keep some tweets coming in. We'll try and read them to you if we get a chance. The finals coming thick and fast, of course, followed by the medal presentations. Please try and do that as we enjoy the national anthem of Ukraine.
Ladies and gentlemen, your medal
Well, big celebrations there from Ukraine. Always very, very dominant swimming championships where a lot of their Paralympic medals come from. Score particularly well in the lower classes, but Denis Dubrov in the S10, very minimal impairments.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of just covered all the bases at the moment, the Ukraine team. They've got strong visually impaired swimmers, strong swimmers in the lower numerical classes. There's some excitement there from these guys on the big screen. Remember, send your tweets in. A lot of messages of congratulations we have on Twitter for Jonathan Fox from Great Britain on his comeback. World record by Dmitry Kokarev. That's a stunning world record from the Russian swimmer there. Also a lot of tweets from Spain. There's the German fans, they'll be pleased. They've got some medal ceremonies to enjoy very soon. This was a cracking race, wasn't it, Joe? The women's S10 400 freestyle.
The winner of the bronze medal, representing Hungary,
Bianca Pap, the youngster from Hungary. We're saying this morning, Giles, that the Hungarians, although they are very experienced, they've got some swimmers who have gone to 4 or 5 Paralympic Games, seem to be around forever, but they've got this real crop of youngsters coming through, these teenagers. Lucas So's 15, Bianca Pap 16. It's just good to see them coming through.
Well, they're traditionally a very strong swimming nation. You see lots of great Hungarians at the Olympics.
How about this young lady? She could have stolen that from the big two there. She was not far away at all at the end of that race.
You just kind of felt that perhaps if she'd have just been a bit more committed at the beginning of the race, taking it out slightly harder, that she could have maybe taken it. Aurélie Rivard of Canada finished first. Obviously, it's European medals only.
The winner of the gold medal and European champion,
Here is the champion yet again. It's Lindy Laurenti. Very, very pleased. It's a great race between Rivard, Laurenti and Diabowska. Could be a very, very good contest when they get to the Rio Paralympic Games. Of course, can't discount the Australians who have been performing very well this year. And I'm sure if Sophie Pascoe, the great New Zealand swimmer, will do this 400 freestyle, concentrating on the shorter distances, but still very, very strong class as we enjoy the national anthem of France. Lindy Laurenti, very emotional there. I've seen her burst into tears again on the medal podium. She is very, very happy to be the European champion once again. And as the reigning Paralympic champion, well, she'll be going in trying to retain that title. She looks like she's back in good shape. She hasn't really been on her best form for the last couple of years, but that's an improvement on what she's been in recent years. And they're contesting for those big medals. Another 2 medal presentations to come before we move on to the next set of finals. Is first of the men's 100 backstroke S6. Well, favourite Semenenko disqualified in the end. Just all went wrong for the Ukrainian. The winner, of course, was Taliesin Glock from Brazil. He will be the Open champion. European champion will be Alexander Komarov. Silver medalist, the experienced German Sebastian Ivanov. And then bronze medalist, making his debut in a major international competition, Van Hofwegen. Well, that was a surprise for the young man from the Netherlands. First Netherlands swimmer to be on the podium at these championships, and he will not be the last. The Netherlands are producing a great crop of youngsters.
Well, they always used to have a fantastic team, didn't they? Sort of mid-90s, early 2000s, and they dropped off a bit, and we're really seeing a resurgence, I think, in Dutch swimming. Great tracksuit as well.
Yeah, that traditional orange tracksuit. The Germans were wearing orange hats this morning. They reverted to the traditional black tonight for the finals. Sebastian Ivanov is a man who's been around for a long time, hasn't he? He's done a number of different events. He does freestyle as well, backstroke. We've seen him do individual medley events, but he always seems to get on the medal podium with something. Picks his races, I think.
He does, but often the bridesmaid, never the bride, is he? He's never quite in the centre spot. Fantastic race, though, from him.
And the centre spot is Komarov from Ukraine. A very, very tight race, that one. Taliesin Glock, as I said, from Brazil, won the Open title. Half a second separating Komarov and Taliesin Glock, and 0.4 of a second between Komarov and Ivanov. Accepts that mascot.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Ukraine.
And the gold medal. Just getting a bit of local knowledge there on the mascot. Funchal is the name of the mascot, named after the local plants which grow on the island, and it's also the plants which gave the city of Funchal its name. Fact.
fact, well, last year in Glasgow, you practically spent the whole time telling me about a Highland cow. So, so it's good to be hearing about a different kind of mascot.
Women's 100 backstroke S6, the next medal presentation.
The winner of the bronze medal. This medal belongs representing Ukraine.
2 Ukrainians on the medal podium here. Oreshko. Oreshko taking that bronze medal. She came up fast at the end of that race.
The winner of the silver medal. This representing Ukraine. Oksana Crew.
Two swimmers who swam without the use of their arms there, and the top 2 spots in this event. Oksana Crew, Anastasia Deirdorova have competed against each other for the last few years.
Well, we see that a lot in this class, particularly on the backstroke, that those who can get a good inverted butterfly kick, they really do capitalise. She overrevved the race at the beginning and opened the door to the lady in the gold medal spot.
Representing the Russian Federation. Anastasia Deirdorova.
Anastasia Deirdorova of Russia. Great build-up for the big one in the summer, the Paralympic Games itself in Rio.
Absolutely, she has retained her European title in this event.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the Russian
First
Federation.
gold medal at these championships for Russia.
Ladies and gentlemen, your medal winners.
Well, first set of medal presentations completed. And Russia and Ukraine off to a good start. They were the top medal earners at the last couple of major championships, Giles. They have got big teams. Tough for any country to challenge them in the overall medal table.
Well, they really do have a fantastic spread across the classes. Here we're seeing a compilation of starts and swims from earlier in the session.
Komarov, the European champion there. And Pereira, Brazilian, swimming the S7 class. We're about to see Presentation a little bit later for the men's 100 backstroke S7. As a champion in that one, Jonathan Fox. Great to see him back. And moving on now, Giles, to the shorter events. We've gone on to the 50-metre events, and yeah, we'll see kind of different tactics employed. We've had the mostly distance events here. We'll see what we have now in this butterfly, where the start will be all important.
Well, it will be. Interesting tactics in this. The Brazilian team are here. Daniel Diaz is the best in the world. He's here. He's the best in the world at this event, but he's not swimming it. And that leaves the door wide open, particularly for Andrew Mullen of Great Britain and Ergülü of Turkey there in the centre lanes in 4 and 5. Andrew Mullen this morning looked absolutely fantastic to 15 metres. Stroke kind of a bit more stop-start after that.
Combined event, this one. S4 swimmers as well as S5. Darko Duric is an S4. Sampasakis from Greece, an S5 swimmer. Chernaev, he swam well this morning. Could he upset the big two? Andrew Mullen fastest into the final. 38.38, half a second behind him. The former European champion Eroglu of Turkey, Tan Song Vo of Vietnam, medalist last year in the World Champs, Arnos Petracek, the S4 swimmer, and the experienced man Ricardo Ten. Well, he's been around for a while too, Ricardo Ten. Can Andrew Mullen do this one? Can Batella Eroglu pose a challenge to the reigning champion Andrew Mullen? Can this young man, Dmitry Chernaev, kind of surprised us this morning. A big improvement for the 16-year-old, the Russian swimmer. Mullen and Eroglu have shared gold and silver medal positions in the last 2 European Championships. And they're away for the 50 butterfly S5.
Well, I expect Eroglu to use the full 15 underwater, as does Andrew Mullen. And well, I have to say, Andrew Mullen got a fantastic start, because Eroglu should have an advantage there. But Andrew Mullen just about in front. He needs to hold on to the stroke, keep it switching if he's going to clinch this victory. He's into the final 10 metres now and looking like very commanding indeed.
It's very good for Andrew Mullen into the last 5. He's clear water between him and the rest, and Mullen will take that one in 36.91. It's a gold medal to Great Britain, and a good swim there for Andrew Mullen. 36.91, just half a second outside his European record. Mullen takes that one. In second position is Chernaev, the Russian swimmer, 38.38, and Eroglu with that good start as well for the Turkish swimmer. He has to settle for third position, just ahead of Tong Tan Vo of Vietnam.
Well, the start there just on your screen. Different styles across the pool. Andrew Mullen, given what he's got, did very well to form a streamlined position. This is where he really started to take command of the race. And this, the finish, and did well to finish right on the extension. Well, when he looked back at the clock, well, there was a wry expression on his face, because it was good enough to win the race. It was a pretty decent time for him. It wasn't his best. And he knows that he really needs to be going quicker if he's going to challenge Daniel Diaz of Brazil.
Andrew Mullen takes the European title for Great Britain. It's Russia in second place with Chernaev, Eroglu in third for Turkey. Women's 50 metres butterfly making their way out to the pool. And here's one of the experienced Hungarians that we were talking about, Kathleen Engelhardt. She made her international debut way back in the 90s, Engelhardt, Talia Chauvel from Belarus, and the Hungarian Rika Kesdi in lane 3. Sarah Louise Wrong, the favourite for this one, in 4. Perales in 5. And Gueretti from Italy in lane number 6. Joanna Maria Silva from Brazil in lane 7. And the home favourite, listen for the crowd here, Simone Fragoso in that outside lane. Psyching herself up there, the home swimmer. There is the Italian swimmer, lane 6, Giulia Gueretti. Can she get in the mix against kind of big 2 in the middle? Sarah Louise Wrong, unbeaten in this event since before 2010. Teresa Perales, 22 Paralympic Games medals to her name, right next to her.
Teresa Perales was absolutely amazing off the start there. She virtually just skimmed off the surface of the water. She hit the water and then was straight into her stroke. Very, very impressive. But here, well, we've seen this story play out before. Sarah Louise Wrong moving through now in the centre lane in the blue cap of Norway. And she's so strong in the shoulders, bringing it into the final 15 metres, doing so well to keep her body position flat.
Here comes Sarah Louise Wrong, breathing slightly to the side here, coming into the final stages now. 43.71 for Sarah Louise Wrong. It is faster than she went this morning. She is followed home by Teresa Perales, 46.14, and Rika Kesdi in 3rd position for Hungary. It's a repeat of the World Championship finishing order from 2015, and that is the top 3 European times there. 43.71 for Sarah Louise Wrong. Once she got up into her stroke, it was never in doubt who was going to take that one.
Well, there's the start. That was actually the outside lane that we saw there. But look at the power in Sarah Louise Wrong. Very, very wise to breathe to the side. The reason she's doing that, she doesn't have to lift her shoulders so far out of the water, and the less distance that her shoulders have to come up, it means there's less distance that her feet are going to go down. She keeps a flatter body position. That's faster. And she finishes on the full extension. Teresa Perales, well, she's been around forever and a day, and always win, lose or draw. Fantastic woman of sport.
Wrong the gold medalist, Perales the silver, Kesdi the bronze. The men's 50 metres freestyle S9 final.
Oh, it's a quick one, this one.
There is the lineup. Matt Wiley from Great Britain, the fastest qualifier. Marie Alcaraz from Spain, lane 5. The only Montenegrin taken to the water so far, Tadic. Skaliuk, the world champion, in 2. Leah Liitomäki from Finland, next to Matt Wiley in lane number 4. The defending champion, Marie Alcaraz from Spain. Tamas Toth, a European record holder, in lane number 6. Nilo Filo from Brazil, and the local favourite, David Grasha. This race has it all.
It certainly does. All British eyes will be on Matt Wiley in lane number 4, because this young man has made some massive improvements over the last week. Well, away all together, as you'd expect, very, very quick, and already in the centre lanes. Wiley up and running well, but also going well is Lähimäki. But very, very difficult to see who's going to win this. Matt Wiley maybe just has fingertips over the rest of the field, Paul.
It is very tight, but it does look like Wiley might take it. Alcaraz coming back, but Wiley is going to be the European champion. 25.85 for Wiley of Great Britain. 0.3 of a second is the difference, and it was Lähimäki from Finland in for the silver, and just 5/100ths ahead of the previous champion, Jose Maria Alcaraz. But Matthew Wiley has taken it. 25.85 for the young man from Great Britain.
Well, there's the start again. Matt Wiley up very, very early and very, very quick stroke turnover. We expected to see Thomas Toth in lane number 6 going a bit better. He's the reigning European record holder. Very difficult to see, but Matt Wiley there, no breathing into the final 5, and look at that, absolutely full extension on his side, gets the finish spot on, and really, Mari Alcaraz of Spain just ran out of pool to be able to catch him. Superb performance from the young British swimmer. Very, very excited to see him swim this summer in Rio.
Matthew Wiley takes the gold for Great Britain ahead of Latin Maki and Maria Alcaraz. Thick and fast here in Funchal, the women's 50 freestyle in the S9 classification. 2 Spanish swimmers and 2 Russians in the center lanes. Kukanova from Russia, the 3rd Russian in this one. Daniela Jimenez. See the Maria Marquez Soto, the young Spanish swimmer, has been very impressive over the last few years. But Sarai Gascon, a world record holder up to very recently, still the European record holder, Gascon. Mamlina in 5, Grazanova, experienced Russian in 6. Arlena Wozniak, well supported by the Polish team next to us. And Stephanie Millward, well supported by the GB team. Sarai Gascon, 29.04, was the equal world record up until about 3 weeks ago when that was beaten by Ellie Cole. Just wonder if Sarai Gascon will have a crack at that world record mark. She goes in lane number 4, the Spanish favourite. Next to her, Mamlina of Russia in 5.
Well, she's up last, but does well underwater. Sarai Gascon in lane number 4. Very, very high turnover in the centre lane. Blue hat of Spain. Just about edging in front now. It's very tight. 15 metres to go, Paul.
It is very close, but here comes Sarai Gascon. Real power in the closing stages for the Spanish swimmer. It's a clear victory. It's an excellent time. A fantastic time, in fact, for Sarai Gascon. A new European record and just 0.1 outside the new world record. And that was fantastic for Sarai Gascon. A European record swim for the Spanish swimmer. Mamlina it was for 3rd, and another medal for Spain. There is Marquez Soto, the bronze medalist there, but Sarai Gascon, well, head and shoulders above everyone there in that 50 freestyle.
Well, that was Sarai Gascon's reaction start. She spent longer underwater, and well, by this time it looked like she'd accelerated, but actually it was the rest of the field who slowed down into the final 10 meters. Well, sometimes people say in swimming, it's not about who swims the fastest, it's about who slows down the least, and I think that that's exactly what happened in this race. And what a fantastic time, not far off the world record indeed. Ellie Cole of Australia will have watched that and just thought, maybe I'm not going to have it all my own way.
Sarai Gascon, superb swim, European record time, 28.89, fantastic swim there, and she is almost a second ahead of Mamlina in the silver medal position. Marquez Soto, the bronze.
Ladies and gentlemen, medal ceremony for the men.
Now back to the medal presentations again. The men's 100 metres backstroke in the S7 classification. Medalists coming out to the presentation area. There are 3 gentlemen who know each other well. They've competed against each other for the past few years. Faria Nunez, Regional Secretary of Health, will be taking these presentations. Sue Prasad will be assisting those presentations. always loves her presentation, super side.
Absolutely. Well, she's so good at it. That's why she continually asked to maybe hand over a mascot, bunch of flowers,
Yeah,
firm shake of the hand.
she's got it down pat.
Oh,
super
hasn't she
side.
just?
Evgeny Bodaiko. Bronze medal this time. He's a silver medalist in the Paralympic Games where he pushed Jonathan Fox all the way.
Well, it must be a surprise for him. He must have thought Jonathan Fox was out the game.
Well, I wonder if Gladkov thought the same. He is world champion from last year, the European champion from 2014 in the absence of Jonathan Fox, but Gladkov at times suggested that he may well be challenging Jonathan Fox there. Gladkov's gone under 1 minute 10. Didn't do it this evening in the final. Neither did Jonathan Fox, but Jonathan Fox from Great Britain, good enough to take that gold medal. Jonathan Fox takes the European Championship gold medal for Great Britain. A satisfied smile on his face. He has been out for 3 years. Jonathan Fox is back. Absolutely superb stuff, Giles. He will be chuffed to bits with that one.
Well, he will indeed. And he gets to hear the national anthem of Great Britain.
Jonathan Fox back on the top of the medal podium.
Well, all smiles there from the three medalists as we await the next medal ceremony. That will be the women's 100 meters backstroke S7.
You would bet against these three guys being on the medal podium again from the Rio Paralympics. Top quality here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony for the women's 100 meter backstroke.
Andrew Mullins' mum in the crowd there. Sticking around for the later medal presentations, I'm sure. The German team are going to enjoy this one, as they have done in the past. They have their successor to the great Kirsten Brune. I wonder if Kirsten Brune's watching on the live stream tonight.
Well, if you are, Kirsten, drop us a tweet. Use the hashtag IPC Funchal 2016.
The winner of the bronze medal is representing Italy.
Arianna Talamona, bronze medalist tonight, bronze medalist back in 2011 at the European Champs, back in Berlin.
Well, Superstar expertly delivering the mascots there.
The winner of the silver medal,
Absolutely no slippage on the pass.
representing Germany, was the medal Almighty, Dennis Gral.
First of the two Germans, Dennis Gral. And the German team very happy with that result there. Dennis Gral, silver medalist.
The winner of the gold medal and European champion,
Gold medalist Verena Schultz on the top of that medal podium. Germany 1 and 2.
Verena Schultz.
Really happy to be receiving that European gold medal. And for the first time at these championships, we hear the national anthem of Germany.
Ladies and gentlemen, your medal winners. As we go to the finals.
Two happy swimmers on the top of the podium. They obviously had hoped for that gold and silver performance there. And they managed to achieve that there. The German team singing to our left here. Very happy with that. Got quite a big squad, the German team here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony for men's 200-meter freestyle S1.
Out in force tonight to support their swimmers. Another couple of medal ceremonies. We had lots of swimming early on, then there's a batch of 50s, and then we're back on the medal ceremonies again, Giles.
Yep. Well, this race was really incredible to watch it unfold. Anton Cole, well, did well to come back into the 200 freestyle. Try and get on terms with the guys who won this S1 race. But in the end, it was just all too much. It benefited to a certain extent.
Anton Cole 6 seconds down in the early stages, and the gap at the end was only, well, around about 3 seconds. And this man, he was in contention the whole way, wasn't he?
He was, but we spoke about even stroke pattern really being the thing that wins it for these S1 swimmers. Particularly, this is the longest event that they do. Superstar expertly making sure he gets hold of that mascot there, firmly planted in the lap. Well done, Sue. Well, the European champion, Hennady Boyko of the Ukraine. Actually, he's been quite a lot quicker in the past, but there we go, a rare smile A rare smile. But he really just even paced it the whole way, and the rest of the field just couldn't live with it.
Well, not at the very end anyway. And he is delighted with that one. And we will listen to the anthem of Ukraine.
Well, lots of noise there for Hardy Boyko. His gold medal success. The medalists come together to have the victory photo. It's not one of the world's great smilers, is Hardy Boyko. So this is pretty much him looking about as happy, I think, as I've ever seen him.
I was very happy, I think. That big smile there. That's the longest event that these guys will do this week. They'll move on later in the week. They'll have the 100 events and they'll have the 50s as well. As we go through the program, just day one, Giles. 7-day program here in Funchal. So it's going to be a long week for these swimmers. Some of them probably won't even take to the water until the last couple of days. So kind of a test for them as they go through the week to make sure they're in top shape when they come to actually swim.
Well, that's right. Well, we saw the S1s. This is the S2 medalists. Well, that was some race that we saw from these guys, wasn't it, Paul?
It was indeed, especially from the man in the middle. He has been challenged in recent years, but tonight, wow, there was absolutely no living with Dmitry Kokarev. Anna Bratets was the bronze medalist. We thought at one point he was going to challenge for the silver medal. Drew up very close to silver medalist Paul Malarchuk, but could not continue to close that gap as they went down that last 50. But Dmitry Kokarev could not be lived with at all here in that world record time. Paul Marchuk, pretty good time for him, 4:21.76. That was a personal best for Paul Marchuk. He's inside the previous European record held by Dmitry Kokarev, so you would not have thought that he would be 9 seconds down on Dmitry Kokarev when the race was actually finished. And, well, except his mascot from Suprasad. Well, determined look on his face there. Not too happy about being in the silver medal position. But really, there was little he could have done against this man. A new world record swim for Dmitry Kokarev of Russia.
Wow, just almost shaking his head there, the Russian teammate. Just shaking his head in disbelief at the... Well, where did it come from, eh? Where did it come from? It was just such an incredibly fast swim from this Russian S2.
He went out in 59 seconds. Then it was a 50, and it was a 104, a 104, and a 104. That's the way to split a 200.
Ladies and gentlemen, your medal winners.
Lots of Russian excitement in the stands for the performance from Dmitry Kokorev as they come together now for the victory photograph.
He's got that steely look on his face. Job done. He wanted that world record back, the one that just was taken from him last year. He's managed to do that. 8 medals presented so far, Giles. 3 to Ukraine, 2 to Russia, 1 to Germany, 1 to France, and 1 to Great Britain. There's the S1 swimmers there.
Well, that's Andre Brazil, S10, very briefly.
So it looks like we're moving on very shortly. The next final scheduled on, let's see, at 18:46, I think. So we'll have a look, keep sending your tweets in. There's a little bit of a delay to the programme here.
Well, we have a 50-metre backstroke race, which means that at the turn end, which is where all the 50s start, they're installing the backstroke ledges that we've spoken so much about, and particularly in lane 3 there's a bit of wrestling going on with it. It seems to be there now.
It seems to be causing a lot of issues. You don't have to use these backstroke ledges if you don't need to. They are available for use. You can choose not to use them. But it's all about getting used to them, getting the practice, see if you can get the advantage from them. If you don't get any advantage from them, there's little point in actually putting them in the water.
Absolutely, just another thing to go wrong.
Yeah, we've seen how things can go wrong earlier this evening. This is the S3 classification. Fastest qualifier from the heats this morning, Funchal from Italy, Lapchenko from Ukraine. Next to him, Mikhail Fredriksson. That is Vino Radets. Well, another Ukrainian we've seen a lot over the past few years. Can this man challenge the great Ukrainian? Makarov also swam well. Martinez Tadril from Spain, medalist previously at the World Championships. Kamil Otowski from Poland, and Gergo Bognar from Hungary. Another one of the young Hungarians that we spoke about earlier. One length of the pool, of course. This 50 metres backstroke. European record set in January by Funchal. was the record set by Vino Radec before. He has won the last 3 European titles. Vino Radec, swimmer in lane number 3. And he won the gold medal in the World Championships last year, Giles, ahead of Vincenzo Boni. Again, we'll see differences at the start. We'll see different styles employed by these swimmers in the S3 classification.
And that's certainly true, but the majority very much going for the ready to go backstroke start position, feet held onto the wall by the coaches. Just a little bit of correction in lane number 3.
It's nervous times for these swimmers. They'll be in the water.
Oh, and getting cold as well. You know, this pool is not like your public swimming pool. It will be cooler than that because it's kept that way to make the water easier to get hold of in the swimming stroke. The water's denser because it's slightly colder. I think we're ready to go now.
Let's see who can get away the best. Good reactions there in lane number 6. Martinez Tuello, the Spanish swimmer, was away well, but the main 3 contenders here are in 3, 4 and 5.
Well, that's right. Vino Radec's also got a very good start in lane 3. He was the swimmer who had a bit of adjustment at the start, but it obviously was worth taking the time over. But Boni now in lane number 4 of Italy, really starting to turn it up. He's got a very, very high stroke turnover, and also going with him is Makarov of Russia. But it's going to be Boni who looks as if he's going to take this one, Paul.
It does look like it's going to be gold to Italy here. The Italian coming in now to the last 5 metres, and it's going to be gold for Italy. 45.94 for Vincenzo Boni. It is Makarov in second, 48.03. And it is Vino Radec in 3rd position on this occasion. But a great time there for Vincenzo Boni. And that was very, very close indeed to the European record. Just 0.3 of a second outside his own record that he set earlier this year. But he will be delighted with that one.
Well, he certainly will. Well, we can see over in lane number 3, Vino Radec's got a great start. But it was just the raw speed of the turnover from Vincenzo Boni from Italy into the final 15 metres here. And look, you can see just does it all by turnover. He hasn't got the ability to really get hold of the water, but he spots the finish superbly. He comes under the flag, counts his strokes, and then really leans into the finish. Feet come up, and he looks at the clock, and he just punches the air and just says, yes.
That was great start from Vincenzo Boni from Italy. Oh, there is a disqualification here in the men's 50 backstroke S3. Vino Radec's disqualified from Ukraine. That does affect the medal positions. Doesn't affect gold though. That goes to Vincenzo Boni of Italy. Makarov in 2nd. Martinez Tuello in 3rd position for Spain.
Well, hard to know what Vino Radec was disqualified for there. There was certainly a lot of commotion at the start, and there seemed to be all sorts of adjustments and people talking to one another about it. I wonder if there's some kind of start problem.
Yeah, I just wonder. Well, we'll bring you that if we find out the reason for that one. But in the meantime, we will move on to the next final. The women's 50 metres backstroke S3 classification. Olga Swiderska in the centre lane between the 2 Greek swimmers. Shishova, the Russian swimmer, in lane number 1. Gabadilina, experienced Kazakhstan swimmer. Rezaoglu from Greece in lane 3. She could contest for the medals here. Olga Swiderska, she will be the favourite for this one. Stamatopoulou with Greece get on the medal podium again. Anke Conradi, Paralympian, started her Paralympic career way back in 1996. Anke Conradi. Molchanova completes the lineup. The two Russians in the outside lanes. The 18-year-old and the 19-year-old. The two 50-year-olds in this one. Anke Conradi and Gabadulina of Kazakhstan. Of course, Kazakhstan competing in the Asian region, so they will not be eligible for the European medal. Oh, swimmer's trying to get into the side there, but Molchanova already in position there.
Well, that's right, and we've spoken about this before. Important to try and get these swimmers all set as quickly as possible because the pool is cold. They won't want to be static for long. Those muscles will be getting cold, which will be affecting their performance. Well, it was lane 2, Gabadulina, who got away the best. But really, Paul, for my money, all about the centre lane, Olga Swiderska of Ukraine. Very much a trademark of lower class swimming to do a double arm backstroke style. She does it well, uses it to maintain good body position, but going with her here, Stamatopoulos, well, she's moving away now as they come into the final 15 metres, and also in the outside, Shisheva.
Well, it's kind of a repeat of the men's 50 backstroke in terms of style there. Swiderska, though, the double arm backstroker, looks like she is going to finish on top here. Shisheva is coming along well in lane number 1. Swiderska gets that one in 56.03. Shisheva in second position there, 101.15, and it looks like it could be Stamatopoulos in fact, Stamatopoulos in second position there. Well, according to our board she is, but Shisheva's time not being registered there, lane 1, so we'll wait for confirmation of that. But from my viewing there, Swiderska, Stamatopoulos and Shisheva were the top 3. What order did they finish in? No doubt about the winner though, Giles. Swiderska, when they got into the second half of that race, just pulled away, showing great strength.
Well, there she did in the centre lane, both arms over at the same time to grab hold of the water at the top of the stroke and really just shove it down the side. You can see it lifts her body up and down, just the force of it. Actually, interestingly, in the outside lane, Shisheva, as she came into the final 10 metres, she was right over on the lane rope and caught the lane rope a couple of times. Now, you're not allowed to pull on the lane rope. And I did wonder if that might lead to a disqualification, but it hasn't. There's the results for you. Swiderska first, 56.03. Shisheva, 59.51. And in third place, Stamatopoulos, 101.15.
Greek team will be happy with that one to be on the medal podium, and the experienced Anke Conradi as well in fourth position. Still performing well at the top level. Well, we've seen the lower numerical classes, Giles. We're now moving on to the highest classification number. There's the GB swimmers there. The higher classification number, S14 swimmers with an intellectual impairment.
That's right. And when we're talking about intellectual impairment, or sometimes people call it learning difficulties, proud Italians.
We saw these girls this morning. I had a hairstyle like that once.
I just don't believe it. When we talk about intellectual impairment or learning difficulties, really what we're talking about is that in swimming, when you're training, you should have lots of different things bubbling around your head at any one time. You should be thinking about your body position, your legs, your arms, your breathing, your timing, what your heart rate should be, what the set should be. Probably about 15 things boiling around in your head. Sarai Gascon's superb start on your screen there.
She was fantastic. So
She was. I wonder if she is thinking, if only I could have gone just that little bit quicker. But yeah, I think she exactly what she was thinking. She wanted to send a message down under.
Yes, 14 swimmers. Swimmers with an intellectual impairment coming out on to pool deck. And a little bit of swimmers probably not going at their fastest this morning. Kuliabin certainly looked like he was going very well from the heats. The Russian in the centre lane.
Well, that's right. He was pretty much on his best by my reckoning. But Tom Hamer cruised. So did Jan Magga Sverrisson.
2 Belgians in 1 and 2, 2 Russians in 3 and 4. Kuliabin fastest into this final. The Paralympic champion, John Margier Sverrisson in lane 5. Thomas Hamer from Great Britain, who had a very fast swim at the GB trials last week. Adam Venom from Norway in 7, and Aaron Putz from South Africa, one of the non-European swimmers, in lane number 8. Well, John Margier Sverrisson will be the favourite for this one, although the fastest time in the year out of these finalists has been swum by Tom Hamer. 1:57.27 Tom Hamer swam just last week. That was exactly a second short of the world record held by Vyacheslav Emeliantsev from Russia, who's not here at these championships.
Well, we saw this happen this morning. Kuliabin, very long range of stroke in the white hat, just in the yellow, top of the yellow lanes there, lane 4, just turning. Took it out very, very quickly, but we can see the quality of Sverrisson's turn there as he pretty much just destroyed his entire lead. Tom Hamer very much sticking with this group, making sure they don't get too far away from them. Intellectual impairment, often when we see these guys race, the gun goes and they go, and they just swim themselves almost to destruction. But this actually looks to be quite a cagey race. It's quick though. 57.16 for Sverrisson through the 100.
Well, Sverrisson, the Paralympic champion, when he won that Paralympic title, really just was so powerful over the last 50 that he managed to swim away from the others in that field. He's not having it his own way this time though, because Tom Hamer coming up alongside Kuliabin and Sverrisson, all 3 into the last turn together.
Well, Hamer and Sverrisson really absolutely murdered Kuliabin round the wall there, and Tom Hamer of Great Britain just edging up on Sverrisson now into the final 25 metres. It's eyeball to eyeball stuff, and Tom Hamer looking across. Can he hang on into the final 15 metres, or will Sverrisson come back?
Well, it's very, very tight indeed. Sverrisson is coming back. It's all going to be on the touch. Maybe Tom Hamer's going to get this one, and he does get it. Tom Hamer gets it in a time of 1:57.96 for Great Britain. Sverrisson gave everything he had, and it was silver for the Icelandic Paralympic champion in 1:58.06. Kuliabin, a good time for him in 3rd place, but Tom Hamer is delighted with that.
Well, that really was absolute class from Tom Hamer of Great Britain, and a very quick time indeed. There's the start. Well, in lane number 8, Aaron Putz pretty much got left in the blocks, but it's a class field. Sverrisson.
That was fantastic stuff there. Kuliabin went out as we expected that he would. Sverrisson swam very well, but Tom Hamer was the stronger in the closing stages. Into the wall here. It was tight margins, but Tom Hamer was a winner. Clear winner at the end. Number 1, Tom Hamer. The result is Great Britain's Tom Hamer, European champion, John Margeir Sverrisson, Iceland, the silver, and bronze to Russia, Mikhail Kuliabin. Wow, good stuff there. Tom Hamer from Great Britain and John Margeir Sverrisson. What a good contest. And Mikhail Kuliabin not too far away as well. Those three swimmers out ahead of the others. Tom Hamer is improving all the time on his 200 metres freestyle.
Oh, he is indeed. Just every time you see him, he just seems to look stronger, fitter, more prepared. Trains at the Performance Centre in the UK, in Manchester. Well, another Brit-Russian head-to-head. We've seen quite a few already this evening. Centre lane, Shabalina and Applegate. Well, they've been racing each other for a long time now.
Janina Breuer in lane number 1 for Germany. Polishkina in 2 for Russia there. First of the 3 Russians in this one. Here's Shabalina in lane number 4, next to the Paralympic champion Jessica Jane Applegate in lane number 5. Pernilla Lindberg in 6. Michelle Franson in 7. Kraeva from Russia is the final swimmer here in this final. She goes in lane number 8. Bethany Firth set the world record in this one just last week. What can these 2 swimmers do in the centre lanes? It promises to be a real head-to-head. Difficulty there with the start.
Yeah, well, lane number 7, Michelle Franson of Belgium, spent a long time drying the surface of her block and still hasn't got on a block, even though she's been calling to take marks.
Oh, there's problems as well. Lane 1's off the blocks now. Just.
Okay.
Here we go. We're set now for the final. And they're away this time. And Shabalina and Applegate, the 2 centre lane swimmers, they have won medals at the European Championships, 14 at the World Championships, 15. Shabalina has taken gold on both occasions.
Well, look at this. Shabalina absolutely means business here, and she has taken half a body length out of Jessica Jane Applegate, pretty much right from the gun. Applegate is going to need a good turn here, and it is good, but it's not good enough to actually take any ground out of Shabalina. The Russian high stroke rate, which looks like she's been told, as the gun goes, you go, and just hang on. Well, can Applegate reel her in over the second 100? Well, Shabalina now got a full body length over Jessica Jane Applegate.
Well, Applegate now 1.3 seconds behind Shabalina as they go over the halfway stage. We know that Jessica Jane Applegate has got a very, very strong second half of this race, and the stroke rate of Shabalina, it is slowing, but it is still a big, big gap. We'll just watch out for the difference as they go over this final turn. It was 1.3 seconds. I'm not sure if Applegate is making much of an impression on Shabalina as they go over the final turn.
Well, Shabalina looks very comfortable indeed. Applegate maybe taking a little bit out of her there on that turn, but it's going to have to be a blistering last 25 if she's going to take this away from Shabalina. Looks to be moving up just a little bit, does Applegate, but it's too far now as Shabalina comes into the final 15 metres.
And it is about Shabalina against the clock now. The world record set last week was 2:03.70. Is that one going to go? It is going to go. 2:03.54 for Shabalina. A new world record. The world record has gone again. Shabalina takes it in 2:03.54. Applegate in second in 2:06.29, and in third place Alonso Morales of Spain. But Shabalina, she took it out, she meant business, and a world record swim for the Russian.
Well, it was actually a very reasonable time, very good time for Jessica Jane Applegate, but when you're up against something, a performance like that, well, it just left her reeling. And here, superb hand entry from Shabalina, and goes into the water, very clean. Breathes into the turn, which you shouldn't do, and out the turn, which you shouldn't do, but that just means that there is even more space in this 200 freestyle for her to get even quicker. Just quite a kind of rangy freestyle stroke.
It's very effective for Shabalina, and she claims gold at the European Championships in a world record time. Jessica Jane Applegate, Great Britain, in silver medal position. Michelle Alonso Morales with the bronze. Well, Giles, we didn't really expect that world record performance there from Shabalina. Wow.
Well, that's the second real kind of world record surprise of the night.
Yeah, Kokorev the first one. Move on to another set of medal ceremonies. The men's 50 meters butterfly S5. This is what Andrew Mullen's mother has been hanging about for in the crowd. We saw her earlier.
Flown in direct from Glasgow.
Almost certainly. Andrew Mullen did a good job though, didn't he? Not far away from his best. The man who presenting the medals to him, Sir Philip Craven, President of the IPC, and Antonio Silva back again for another set of presentations, President of the Portuguese Swimming Federation. That's a medal for the Turkish team. Eroglu from Turkey taking that one. He was the European champion 5 years ago now, these championships in Berlin. Andrew Mullen was second place on that occasion, but that'll be 2 European titles to Andrew Mullen now. Eroglu, one of the top performers for Turkey though, Giles. They haven't got a lot of medal chances, so they'll be pleased to get on the medal podium on one of Eroglu's best events this week. The Russians just continue to produce these youngsters, don't they? Fantastic stuff.
Oh, yeah.
16-year-old there on the medal podium. In amongst, in between the two guys that we thought may be fighting it out for the gold and silver medal positions.
The winner of the gold medal and European champion, representing Great Britain,
Andrew Mullen, European champion again, and he wrecks the medal podium as he comes forward to collect that.
I think that's about the third time we've seen that happen tonight.
That's going to have to get fixed in a little bit better. Well done, Andrew Mullen. Excellent stuff. Gold medal in the 50 metres butterfly, retaining his European title.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Great
Tom Hamer's mum. Flag waver there for the GB team, chief cheerleader. There's the 3 medalists, the men's 50 metres butterfly. GB flags around here in the crowd. I've had a good night at the GB team so far. Another medal ceremony on its way. It's the women's 50 metres butterfly. And this was another tussle between two old rivals, great friends and rivals though. Sarah Louise Wrong and Teresa Perales. Reka Kesdi, well, she's becoming a regular on the medal podium. Bronze medalist at the Worlds last year, bronze medalist here at the Europeans. It's her #1 event. Day 1. And accepting her medal and mascot. There's a bit of a debate about my mascot fact earlier, but we'll bring you the definitive answer later in the week, I'm sure. Teresa Perales, of course. What a great athlete that she has been over the years. 22 Paralympic Games medals for Teresa Perales. Politician, mother, written at least 2 books. And real kind of inspiration for the Spanish team. You know, the Spanish are tuning into the live stream. Number of tweets coming in from them. Sarah Louise Wrong is a gold medal winner on this occasion from Norway. She has dominated this event, unbeaten in this event since 2010. Teresa Perales, well, gave everything that she had. But when they got into the stroke, there's no doubt about who was going to be the winner. Sarah Louise Wrong from Norway. For the first time, we'll hear the Norwegian national anthem. Great backdrop to the flags, Charles. It looks like we've got a view right down the hill into the ocean, but
Have we not?
well, yeah, we have, yeah. Yeah, it's just a big kind of, how can you describe that? A big canvas on the wall.
Yeah, showing the amazingly beautiful island of Madeira. Had no idea how pretty it was until I came here. There we go, you can see it right down the far end of the pool there. Exactly what we're talking about, the big picture.
That's where the flags will go up. The flags will go up for these guys here. two experienced campaigners who've been on the medal podium before, and one guy in the middle who is just making that breakthrough in major international events. Jose Maria Alcaraz, the bronze medalist this time, could not quite catch the leading two at the end. Jose Maria Alcaraz, a bronze medalist for Spain. Making these signals to his Spanish teammates. A man who has carried Finland's medal hopes over the last few years. He hasn't disappointed. This is his main event. The 50 freestyle, he'll go in the 100, I'm sure. But the 50 square, he was hoping to get on the medal podium. He's achieved that. It was a good time that he did as well, Leo Latinmäki, but he just could not live with the pace of the young man in the centre of the pool. We saw him perform sensationally last week at the Great Britain Paralympic Trials. Matthew Wiley is the European champion from Great Britain with a fantastic 50-metre performance.
Well, he really has seen a step change in gear, hasn't he? Really can count himself among the few in S950 freestyle who can achieve a 25 point for the race. There aren't many who've dipped below the 26 barrier.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Great Britain.
And well, you'll get to hear the national anthem of Great Britain.
Great stuff from Matt Wiley, the delight of the GB fans. Leo Latinmäki, I'm pleased with his silver. He targeted gold though coming into this European Championships, but sometimes you just can't take account of these youngsters coming through.
Well, that is the nature of the beast when it comes to swimming. Very much a young person's game. And I think with the retirement of Matt Cowdrey of Australia, there would have been a lot of men in the S9 class who'd have been eyeing up all of the gold medal spots that he used to occupy, only to find that a new crop of youngsters is coming through and occasionally shuts the door. But it really is fantastic to see the sport thriving the way it is.
And, well, it's a familiar figure on the top of the medal podium this time. Two Spanish swimmers side by side. Maria Marquez Soto. Oh, she performed so well in the last couple of years, the World Championships last year, winning 3 medals. She's a leg amputee. Traditionally we haven't seen the leg amputees perform too well in the sprint events, although there are exceptions. Natalie Toy, of course, the great South African, and currently Ellie Cole is performing very well. But generally the arm amputees have performed very, very well in the sprint events. Mamlina, the tall Russian, Almost
terrific height
Golfing.
advantage she has. Wow, look how far she has to bend down to collect the medal from Phil Craven.
see the height advantage she has over the champion in a second.
Well, very rarely see it in men's sprinting, but in women's sprinting, sometimes it really can be your advantage to actually be quite petite. And, well, the lady who's won this race, Sarai Gascon of Spain. She really is a class act. Very close to the world record, lowered her own European record.
She's tried for years to improve that time.
Yeah.
And she does it just